This is Hodaki News.
Kia ora, Lauren Mabbott here with your Hodaki update at 4 o'clock. British American Tobacco is being labelled hypocritical for demanding tougher penalties for violent tobacco thieves as robberies are putting lives at risk. Boyd Broughton from anti-smoking group ASH says their talk of wanting to save lives doesn't stack up.
He's disingenuous about not wanting to cause harm because they've got 80% share of the market in New Zealand and they cause over 4,000 deaths per year with their product.
Otaki MP Nathan Guy held a meeting today in hopes of saving the flights between Kapiti and Auckland. Air New Zealand had announced it was cancelling the service. He says the meeting was highly productive and he's confident they can achieve a new service in the next few months. And more than 3.2 million people have completed the 2018 census online so far. Census officials will be visiting households who haven't filled out their forms over the next 2 weeks. In sport, the West Indies have produced an impressive bowling performance in the second 2020 Cricket International against the White Ferns. After a 52-run opening stand, the West Indies have pegged New Zealand back, reducing them to 134 for 7 off their 20 overs. Goran Paratsky has 4 games to show he deserves a new A-League contract with the Wellington Phoenix. The Croatian midfielder, who's off contract at the end of the season, says there's yet to be talks about a contract renewal. And Black Sox coach Mark Sorensen is going on a sabbatical to spend more time with his family. The World Championship winning mentor will sit out the Intercontinental Cup in Prague in August, with assistant coach Daryl Moreno taking the reins as head coach.
Weather, thanks to tradestaff.co.nz, in the business of getting you working.
Okay, weather for Auckland, there could be a few showers around, but it should all clear away later. Dropping down to 15 tonight. Cloudy periods tomorrow, a few showers once again, and reaching a high of 24.
Welcome to the show for bloody good Kiwis across the country. This is Bhuja, with Lee Hart and Jason Hoyt.
Well, good day, New Zealand. Great to have your company this Tuesday afternoon. It is the 20th of March 2018, and Lee Hart, g'day, mate.
G'day, mate. Well, yeah, good.
You're looking good, man.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
You got the gangster thing going on. I love it when you do the gangster thing.
It's doing a bit of filming early on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that where you got the massive gold chains? You got the hat? I've never seen you wear a backwards cap before. That's a good look, brother.
I'll explain it later on. Pretty cool stuff, but I tell you, I just realised now, apparently our mics were on during the news. I did not know that.
Oh, you're kidding me. Actually, that's my perpetual nightmare that I have, when I'm in bed asleep, is that, I'm on radio, but the mics are on and I don't realise they're on.
Yeah.
And, that sort of locker room chat that you have outside of your
you
broadcast.
Think it would affect the show, though, really?
Well, probably not, actually, to be honest.
Probably
would make it better. Matty, how are you going, buddy?
Good, thanks, mate. Good, thanks.
You looking well?
You're looking sharp.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Jeez, that's all I'm going to say. I tell you what, that used to be a baggy shirt on you, not anymore.
No, it's not, mate. See how tight it is around the neck now.
Oh, yeah, and hello, Mr. Bicep.
Yeah.
That's a different shirt, though, isn't it?
Trapezoids, hello.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what, we've got a huge show today. I mean, what more can I say about it? We've got guests, we've got giveaways, we've got music. Tell you what else it is. It's Shout Out Tuesday.
Sure is, my friend. So what do you say to people if they want to do a shout-out to someone they love, someone they care about, or whatever it is? Text us 3483 and we'll make sure that we shout it out for them.
I'm going to kick it off with a shout-out to Hazel Wilkinson, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Hazel is on the coast, back, my home way, all right? She rings in to name that tune every single day, apparently.
Wow, that's amazing.
She has known the correct answer every single day. She's yet to get through, but she doesn't mind. She loves playing the game. That's Hazel. She's on the coast.
Hazel. You sure that's not one of those names that pops up that you've got on your computer, in your area?
No. I clicked on her and checked it out, and she's legit.
Oh, right.
So that's Hazel. And actually, yeah.
Well, actually, what you should do, my friend, is take note of her number. So if we see it coming up on the Name That Tune board there, when all the phone calls come through, we can go straight to Hazel.
Well,
that's a good idea.
Easy, Robert Mueller.
Well, because, if she rings up every time you do it, she deserves something, for God's sake.
Yeah, that's right. If Tom ends up speaking to her, he can write her name down. We can look out for it. Good stuff.
Yeah,
right,
brilliant.
We can even have this chat off here.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, what a show.
Here's Pearl Jam.
Now that's damn good radio right there, what we've just done. That intro into that song. Now, Tom, make sure you stick this down on my show reel. You want it on your show reel as well?
Oh, no, I might flag. I didn't feel I was that great in that one.
That was a good intro, mate.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it was a bad intro. I thought you were great in it.
Tom, stick it down on my show reel. Maybe not Jace's, but just the overall best of. Okay, thanks, mate.
Hey, welcome back to the show, Daily Bhuja Shout Out Tuesday. Any chance of a shout out for my dad who passed away on the weekend? Legendary family man and father of 5 sons, Mr. Weeks. Good on you, mate. It sounds like an awesome man.
Shout out to, obviously not to him so much, because he's passed away, but what he's saying there, he wants a bit of a tribute to his father, who did pass away in the weekend. So our thoughts are with you.
Absolutely,
5 sons,
man.
and obviously the wider family, because there's going to be a lot more than that, I would suggest.
I would like a shout out to the love of my life, Linda. And could I have a song, Itchycoo Park? Well, we can do the shout out.
Classic.
Yeah, we probably can't do the tune.
I might do something later on and name that tune. That will suffice.
Can I do one more shout out?
You could, can.
Shout out to the Penguins and myself here on Easter Island. We share Easter Island with Hodaki, both survivors of Noah's flood.
I'm going to do one more for you, mate. This is a shout out to Gavin Nixon.
Oh, good stuff.
And I'll tell you what, Gavin Nixon from the Hub. From the Hub? Where's the Hub?
Not the Porn Hub, is it?
Well, Gavin Nixon from the Hub.
What's that?
Happy birthday, mate. There you go.
Come on, Matt.
I think that Easter Island one's Crazy Larry from Tietitu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It could be. Anyway,
Exactly.
that's how shout-outs work. Good on you guys. We're here for you.
Now, listen, I just want to put it out there early in the show, if I might, Lee Hart.
Shout out to the Lincoln lads. Yep.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Free for All Friday next week, right?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday, actually, because, of course, it's going to be Easter.
Should we just start calling it Free for All Thursday?
Let's call it Free for All Thursday for
Well, I
next
think we
Thursday.
got the copyright for Free for All Friday.
I know, but just because it's only a week away and we need to make sure people tune in on the Thursday.
Regardless, it's going to be a huge day. It's a massive party here at Radio Hodaki, that's for sure. We get all sorts of guests, people coming in all over the place. We need a musician. We need a musician to go and play out in the main offices here. You could be a duet, you could be a small band, you could be by yourself. Just playing
Male, female, original,
acoustic
covers.
set. If you're interested in doing something like that, because I tell you what, it'll be a hell of a party. Text us on 3483, let us know about it. Obviously, you kind of need to be around Auckland or be able to get up to Auckland and become a part of it.
And if
It'd be
you're going to do
brilliant.
that, leave your phone number in the text, because then Tom can deal with it and process that. But what we want to do for Wakachangi Free for All Thursday.
Oh, sorry, Wakachangi.
No, sorry, no, sorry.
Yeah. No, my bad, man.
It's
My
just,
bad.
It's just a free for all, mate. No big deal.
Yeah, true.
Is that when we're not on air all the time in the breaks, we go off out there and there's a second party going on.
Yeah, totally,
We're
man.
in and out. It'll be awesome.
And remember, the people who decide which music gets played on Hodaki will be relatively boozed.
Yeah.
So you might be able to somehow slip your song on.
Yeah, good stuff,
If you're
mate.
doing a
Well, judging by what we're playing, it looks like they normally are pretty boosted. If you know what I'm saying.
I tell you what, we've got some great tunes. Oh, we've got a bit of Basement Jacks now, Maddie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, good. That's what I'll have to do.
Coming up, we talk about great rivalries in musical history.
Fat beats there of Basement Jacks on Radio Hodaki this Tuesday afternoon.
Fat!
It was fat, man. Now listen.
That was fat.
Speaking of fat, how's the starvation diet going?
Oh,
Because
you're not going to believe this.
I tell you what, I don't know if it's just because you told me you were doing the starvation diet, but already your cheeks are a little more sunken, your eyes are a little more sunken, you know, there's a bit more space in your shirt, you seem to have trimmed down maybe 6 or 7 kgs.
Well, that's good. That's what a day will do for you, because I started eating again today, unfortunately.
Oh.
So what happened, unfortunately, I was doing some filming this morning out at Cumu Way.
Cumu?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what it's like on film sets and TV sets and that sort of stuff.
Well, they have that.
There's always food there.
There's the table with all the
there's
snacks
lunch.
and stuff.
And you're kind of waiting around and you're doing stuff, and I end up having like a chicken roll in the end, and maybe a pie or something. So I did one day of the starvation. Well, actually, I had dinner last night actually when I got home. So
You sort of did 3/4 of a day, because I remember yesterday you were saying it was going to be a 2-week starvation diet, and I thought to myself, geez, you know what? That's a bit of a stretch, I think.
I knew I wouldn't do 2 weeks, so I went along. What I was doing is just trying to pull it back. So you go high, aim for the moon, aim for the stars, and you hit the moon. If you know what I mean. So what's going to happen now? I've had a couple of beers now as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, was beer a part of this starvation
I
diet?
never thought about it at the time, and it probably should have been. But so what's happening? I'm sitting down as soon as the show's finished with the data that I have at my fingertips, I'm going to just rewrite the program slightly.
Right, okay.
To factor in what I've done.
Listen, mate, if you need a protein shake, I think it would be a great idea. Matt's back at the gym today, which was great news. We all come in here at 3 o'clock. I make us all a protein shake. We get, the juices up.
Well, what I'm doing now,
the thing
about a protein shake is that, you're having it and you go, oh, this is it. So what I do now, a lot of my consumption, this is the second part of my program, is I have while I'm asleep. Okay.
Oh, like by drip or something?
Now, while I'm asleep, I'll have someone come in like with protein powder and just like sprinkle it like spoonfuls into my mouth while I'm sleeping. So and I'll wake up in the morning, I won't be hungry.
You'll feel full.
Yeah.
You could get someone while you were sleeping to just... Oh, no. No.
Intravenous?
No, shelving, yeah. But that would be a bit... you don't want to be woken up that way.
No, you don't want to wake up in the middle of the night. No, you don't. They don't want to be doing that. No, I think just subtle sprinkling of some protein powder. Some of the fine protein you can actually sprinkle onto your eyeballs.
But you're asleep, aren't you?
Oh yeah, but you could just sprinkle on there and it just absorbs into your eyes.
It's easy to have strong eyes.
You have massive, veiny, bulbous eyes. Oh, dearie me.
The key is you just got to get some kind of food in there without your body knowing it. So you're not thinking about food.
Good on you, mate.
Because you're not eating carbs now, are you, Jace?
Oh, no. Carbs? Think not, mate. Just nuts and grains.
Cheese?
Oh, yeah, cheese.
That's right.
This is a bit of Weezer, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, indeed. The Pixies there on Daily Bhuja. You were talking about Lee Hart taking protein powder while you were sleeping. Fine, because you can get the really fine protein powder.
Yeah.
Well, how's this for a bloody clever idea from one of our listeners? You could always convert one of those fly spray dispensers and put that by your bed. I think he said he saw it in a magazine, so it could just spray out every sort of 10 minutes this mist of protein powder.
Yeah, and you breathe it in.
And you just breathe it in. That is clever.
Yeah, that would probably work. Speaking of fly spray, what the heck's up with that? What's all that about?
What do you mean?
What's all that shit? Fly spray, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh my God. When I was a kid, fly spray, you'd spray it on a fly, it would die. Now, I'll have flies all over the show of the house. I'll spray everywhere. There was a couple of flies mating on my bench the other day, right?
Yeah.
I sprayed right on top of them. They just kept going.
I thought that
Even I would stop mating if someone sprayed fly spray on me.
Well, I used to think to myself when the flies were mating and I'd spray them, I'd think to myself, a hell of a way to go. You know what I mean? A hell of a... Would you like to...
If they finish.
Well, I mean, it was still... What a great way to go, Matty.
Be a pain in the ass.
Great way to go?
Halfway.
Well, it's better than, as you say, being a fly just standing there.
You're just standing there doing nothing, sucking on a bit of cheese
thinking
or
about
something.
going over to that jam or something, but all of a sudden... But nowadays, it doesn't seem to work.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
It's like spraying Glade or something on them.
It's probably protein powder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's probably just feeding them.
I just know if I was making love and someone ran in with a can of fly spray and sprayed us with it, that would affect me. That would affect me probably more than the flies are getting affected.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Are you using the lighter as well?
Yeah, well, I was going to say you could do the old, the fly spray with the lighter and just sort of flame throw all the... But I know what you mean, and flies gross me out, man. And it's because the season's been so hot and warm and now it's all wet and moist.
I just think they've got immune to it. I think they've adapted. And because everything's so PC now that with the fly spray, you can't have all the chemicals and all the bad chemicals in there. It's basically just like aerosol air freshener.
Yeah.
No?
No, I agree with you, man.
What do you think, New Zealand?
I just hate fly spray because when you're sort of sitting around and someone picks it up and just starts spraying it around the room, oh, God, I hate that.
I'm like that. I'm one of those guys.
I've
got a fly thing.
Apparently the thing to do, a friend was telling me, is, and I know it sounds grody and gross, but is those fly strip paper, the paper is really good. And they come along, they could be mating, I don't know what they'll be doing, and they stick to the paper and that's it, all over. Then you just peel it off.
It'd be hard to be mating on...
You still talk about the flies or a couple?
No, the flies. And they stick to the paper and then they just suck the paper away.
I hate to see like a couple making love and those big fly strips beside the bed. That could be heinous. We'll get a testicle stuck to one of those. Would you?
Well, I mean, your testicles would have to be splaying out all over the place, I'd imagine, but I suppose you could, yeah.
I suppose it depends what you're into, really.
I've had a similar thing when I was waxing.
Tom, can you make sure this isn't in the best of? Thanks, man.
Jason Hoyt, Lee Hart. It's Bhuja on Radio Hauraki.
Jet there on Daily Bhuja this Tuesday afternoon.
And a lot of people texting in. What a great show. Now, I'll tell you what, a bit of shout out to the QMU Volunteer Fire Department.
Good stuff.
I was doing some filming with them early today. A little video with them. Bit of fun. And, we've just been having a chat about it all, and you get an idea looking around the fire station as you do, and the history and the volunteers of the past, and God, what great work they do. But then you start thinking about the whole nation, how many volunteer firemen there are in the whole country, and if we didn't have them, we'd actually be stuffed, because there's no way that the government, there's no way we can actually afford to have a full-time fire service.
Totally, mate. And can I tell you, you know how I used to live in Odidi Point in the Firth of Thames there?
Not really, but anyway.
Well, I joined the volunteer firemen, and they were a great bunch of guys.
You did?
Yeah, I did. Because I was a young buck, and quite a few of them were getting a bit older, and it was a very small community, they immediately came to my house and said, come and join them. And I thought, okay, well, I don't really know anyone here, so I'll do that. And it was great. And we'd learn something every week, and then we'd have a big booze up with all the crates of beer, $2 a beer and stuff like that.
Didn't you knock yourself out running into the fireman's pole?
Yeah, I did, actually. I did.
Did you go to any fires and stuff?
No, I never went to a fire.
Okay.
But I tell you what, we had some great parties.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it was terrible, actually, because if they had a fire while we were having our parties, it could have been bloody chaos.
Yeah, well, I think they're kind of designed in such a way that there's people on call, people not on call. They should be okay there. But all I want to say is, bit of a shout out nationwide to the volunteer fire brigade service.
Bloody oath, mate.
And
That's
if
awesome.
you can help out in your local region or want to volunteer, what a good thing to do. I might get involved myself.
And seriously, as I say, it was a great way to, when you're moving into a new community, it was a great way to meet everyone.
I'm trying to meet less people, that's the problem.
And we'd do little barters. I'd barter a bit of my homebrew, and they'd bring me some, one of them was a farmer, he'd bring me a bit of home kill. Stuff like that, and we bartered all sorts of stuff. It was the hub of the community. Why are you looking at me like that, man?
No, you haven't mentioned putting out fires yet.
Oh, no, we didn't put any, there was no fires at that time. Weirdly enough, it was
back
summer.
in those days.
We didn't have fires back in my day, Matt.
Yeah, but anyway, just once again, a bit of a shout out for them. Just before you keep hijacking it with the story from your past, Jace.
Sorry, mate.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying, these guys do put out fires, and they do great jobs, and it's dangerous, and it's not just the fires, actually. It's the car wrecks.
Yeah.
They're often first on the scene, pulling people out of cars, jaws of life.
Yeah.
That can't be pretty. How much training did you get for that?
Well, I was going to tell you another story there, but I feel like I'm just hijacking all the stories with my own stories.
Well, I think the point is they do great work.
Yes, they do.
Of all sorts of different nature, all first responders, fire, you name it. And shout out to them. So if you're a volunteer fireman anywhere in the country, whatever song's coming up, it's going out to you.
And any volunteers? Can I expand it out, please, Lee Hart? Any volunteers? My wife is a volunteer for St John's.
Yeah, okay.
Good on her. People that volunteer down at the Starships, they don't get charity money. They don't get paid for it. They're volunteers.
Got one for you. Surf Lifesavers.
Surf Lifesavers. Let's do a shout out for Surf Lifesavers. Yes, man.
I was just going to say, I know we're trying to stay away from Jason's stories, but if he's got one involving the Jaws of Life, I'm pretty keen to hear it.
Have you got one, Jason, involving the Jaws of Life?
Jaws of what's that again?
That's the contraption for, ripping car doors open and stuff.
Oh, no, I don't have one of those. But any volunteers, seriously, it's a great thing. And particularly in the society we live in today, which can be very selfish, Lee Hart.
It certainly can.
People that give of their own time for no money at all.
Yeah, but if I wasn't doing radio right now, I'd be out there.
So would I, mate. Kia kaha. Marcy Playground there on Daddy Bhuja. Sex and Candy.
Bit of sex and candy.
Sex and candy.
Bit of sex and candy.
Tell you what, Lee Hart,
Sex
the phone lines are going crazy. Let's say good day to someone. G'day, mate. Hello, caller.
G'day.
G'day, mate.
Who are we talking to?
It's Lewis.
Lewis.
Yes.
How you going, mate? What's going on with Lewis at the moment?
Oh, just heading home from work.
Sounds like you're in some sort of vehicle, got the window down or something, or...
Oh, just a terrible in-car Bluetooth system, I think.
I tell you what, mate, we can deal with that. We're professionals. And what's on your mind?
Oh, well, I reckon I just heard the majestic squawk of the Bhuja hawk.
Of course you did, Lewis.
You're good.
Of course you did. Good stuff. Good spotting, my friend. How would you like a $20 KFC voucher?
It sounds pretty choice.
Well, I tell you what, mate. It's all yours, thanks to KFC.
I tell you what, Jace. We're going to whack a wacky-chanky bumper sticker in there as well.
Oh, does it get any better than that, Lewis?
I don't think it does. It's bloody top.
Good on you, buddy. Hey, thanks for the call, man. Thanks for listening too, and you have a great afternoon. Stay on the line.
Thanks, mate.
And
Thanks,
Lewis,
mate.
thanks for being you, mate.
Yeah, thanks for being you, Lewis.
Cheers, boys.
Thanks, mate. What a great guy Lewis
Great guy.
was.
Bad reception, but a great guy.
Very much so, very much so.
You know, that's what you got to deal with radio. It's not always a good reception. And, you know, I mean, I mentioned earlier some of the callers. I mean, I don't know. Was it Hazel Wilkinson on the West Coast?
Oh, yes, you mentioned who rings, who's rung for every single name that tune that you've done and never got through.
See, she said she gets pretty bad reception to the show most of the time. It's pretty hard to listen to, but she persists with it.
Yeah.
And she can still pick out the tune with Name That Tune, which is a kind of a compliment to me in many ways, I suppose. But that's what I'm saying. If you're out there persisting with this show, people, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's impressive, listening to this show with a little bit of static in it.
Oh, yeah, that is a big call, to
that's
be
a
honest,
tough
isn't
listen.
it? That's a real tough listen. Good on you, Hazel.
Oh, yeah.
Bit of Fat Freddy's.
Oh, yeah.
Like
KFC.
Yeah. I could go some KFC right now,
Maybe on
actually.
the way home.
Smoke covers the sky.
Smashing Pumpkins there on Daddy Bhuja. I've got a lamb curry in the slow cooker at the moment.
Have you?
Yeah, mate.
I think I'm having a curry tonight as well.
Oh, are you making it yourself, though, man?
No, never
A
made a
slow
curry.
cooker, big chunks of
What are you
lamb.
running that about at 130?
Pardon?
140 Celsius?
I don't know, whatever high is on the slow cooker.
Well, what's the point of going high on the slow cooker? Surely you want to go as slow as possible.
Well, it's a slow cooker, so even high on a slow cooker is quite slow.
Yeah, I'd say it should be 150 max.
Yeah, probably. Hey, we were talking a little bit earlier about shout-outs to all the volunteers out there, Lee, that volunteer their time and their expertise. Lest we forget, my friend, Girl Guide and Boy Scout leaders. God, how can we miss them out?
Were you guys in the Boy Scouts?
No, I didn't really.
I was.
in cadets. I was in school cadets.
Kayla, we will do our best. Cubs, will you do your best? We will do our best.
God, so you went to a Catholic boarding school and Boy Scouts?
Anglican, Matt, Anglican,
You've
please.
got, you had no chance.
Yeah, no, we had school cadets, army cadets, where we dress up as soldiers and march around, and that was funny.
I tell you what, I used to go to, seriously, our Boys Brigade. Did you have Boys Brigade down at Christ's College?
No, I don't think so.
Boys Brigade, it was kind of it was much more military than the Boy Scouts.
Well, cadets was military cadets. We'd have soldiers come to teach us, and we'd have a firing range, and then we'd practice marching, going on a school camp.
Were you like bayoneting and stuff as well?
Not so much bayoneting, there's a lot of marching and drill and that sort of stuff. And then a camp was always fun.
It sounds very much like the Boys Brigade, actually. And I don't know if you won't know the Boys Brigade, but the Boys Brigade sort of regalia was very almost SS Nazi-ish. It was black and kind of full on.
Weird little berets and stuff. And yeah.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
Bear.
Right, you had a problem with
Oh,
soldiers.
my God.
And I remember, and because it's a boarding school, Charles Upham,
Yes.
New Zealand's greatest ever wartime hero, World War II, 2 VCs, he was in my boarding house. Obviously, a long time before I was. So he was his photo was up on the wall.
Yeah.
And he was a bit of like an idol of ours. So, and he was a bit of apparently at school, a bit of a,
Larrikin.
yeah, just a bit of he didn't really excel in anything. He used to cause a bit of trouble here and there. As soon as the war broke out, a couple of years after he left school, he went off to the war and just turned into this
Amazing
meaty
soldier.
killing machine. And came back as this hero, which was cool. His photo's up there. And so I used to visualize what would he do. So we used to channel him at night. The boarding house in Miller Christchurch there would sneak out, have a look out, climb out the fire escape, missing the spotlights, because he ended up in Colditz at one point.
Yes.
And would go around by the wheelie bins, hide, sneak down into the city, get burgers, this kind of thing.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
back, sneak
yeah.
back in, try not to get caught. Get caught, you get caned. Later on, of course, sort of 6 and 7 form would sneak out off to parties at day boy houses.
Yeah.
At what?
At
A
other
day
people-
boy was a boy
guy.
that-
Oh,
that
day
didn't-
boy.
Yeah.
So there'd be parties and stuff.
Man, we
We'd
used to
sneak
do-
out,
we used to
come
do-
back at 2 in the morning.
We used to do the same thing all the time. For us, it was more going to have a durry, and we'd
Yeah.
have we'd post people, and we'd have this sort of owl hooting scenario.
Yeah. Down here.
Teachers must have just gone, oh, for God's sake, we're having another durry.
Yeah.
How do you know
That's
that,
great.
John?
I used to
Wow.
justify it, though. Just to justify it. That's what Charles Upham would have done.
Right. Oh, well, good stuff.
Is that Boys Brigade the one at the priest's house, or is that somewhere else?
No, it wasn't at a priest. Matt.
I mean, that bad touching stuff's very rare, once or twice a month, tops.
Literally.
Welcome to the show for bloody good Kiwis across the country. This is Bhuja with Lee Hart and Jason Hoyt.
Indeed it is. Thanks for listening this Tuesday afternoon. The time is 5:04, which means, of course, it's time for Lee Hart's Name That Tune. Eyes to the front, gentlemen.
Yes, indeed. Now, here we are. Look, what do you reckon? Should we pay this out today? I've just got that feel about it.
You're crazy.
One of the interesting things that seems to happen when you do Name That Tune, one of the biggest criticisms we get on our show is that we don't play the Name That Tune song out.
Yeah, that's right.
So I just reckon we make an executive call here.
Okay.
Who say yay?
Yes, I say yes. You don't even know what it is yet. You're saying yes.
I'm saying yay. Matty?
It's not one of Jace's songs, is it?
No.
Then I say yay.
Okay.
Can you once tell me, Matt, when Lee Hart has played one of my songs?
Yeah, it's a good point.
So what have you got for us today, Lee Hart? Talk us through it.
We'll play us.
Got a bit of rock and roll, Jace. That's what we're going to do. A bit of rock and roll, because that's what we do here on Hodaki, all right?
Well, I think the thing is, if we're going to play it out, we've decided to play it out. It's got to be a bloody good song, mate.
It's going to be good. Okay, now, if you're at home, we need the artist and we need the song in the correct order.
What do you mean the correct order?
Can't go song then artist.
And Hazel Wilkinson on the coast. If you ring up and we see your number come up, we'll try and answer it. But hey, a lot of people are going to be trying as well. So, what do you reckon, guys? Go for it.
Yeah, mate, go for it.
Oh, tune.
Yeah, tune. If you can name that tune, give us a call right now on 0800 Hodaki. Love to hear from you.
Bhuja with Lee and Jace on Radio Hodaki.
Queens of the Stone Age there on Daily Bhuja. Before that, of course, we had Lee Hart's Name That Tune. Let's go to the phone lines.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to speak to George.
It's slightly
Dirty
different.
little-
No, I
Dirty
did.
little
Well,
ring.
We have to.
No.
Gotta be done, Jace. Gotta be done.
It mucks people up when you do this. Okay, I'm going to George now. Hawke's Bay Saw Doctor. G'day, mate. George,
Yep, that's the one.
how you going, buddy?
Beauty. Not
Excellent, excellent. So, George, can you name that tune?
bad. Would that be Roadhouse Blues by the Doors?
Oh,
You're thinking of. It's very similar, actually, at the end. But I'm gonna say no, though. I'm afraid.
sorry, George.
Oh, mate.
But
Bubba.
thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it. We really do.
Hey, look,
Cheers, guys.
we've got Hazel there.
Oh, Hazel.
Take Hazel.
Okay.
Top there.
Hazel, g'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
How you going, Hazel? Is this Hazel on the coast?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
So you can get through.
Goodness gracious me, Hazel. And is it true what Lee Hart said that you phone in for every Name That Tune?
I phone in pretty regularly, yeah.
Right, okay. That's not every Name That Tune, Lee Hart.
And whereabouts on the coast are you?
Greymouth.
Greymouth. Nice, okay.
Great part of the country, Greymouth.
Oh,
how's
100%.
how's Greymouth today, Hazel?
Look, it's a blue sky day, sun's out, not a cloud in the sky. She's a pearler.
It's
Beautiful,
often
mate.
like that on the coast, I tell you.
Beautiful.
Can't be Greymouth had a great day, can you?
You sure can't. Now, Hazel, can you name that tune?
Was it Jean Genie, David Bowie and Mick Jagger?
Let's just drop Mick Jagger off it. and we'll take that one. We'll take it. That's correct.
Woo! Well done, Hazel. Stay on the line, and Tom will sort you out with some sort of prize. Also, Isabella in Christchurch. You stay on the line, and Tom will have a chat to you too.
Oh, what a tune!
Oh, what a tune!
Small Genie snuck off to the city.
David Bowie there on Daily Bhuja this Tuesday afternoon. I don't
Tell you
reckon...
what, Jace, I mean, the lines have gone nuts, the text machine with playing that song out. They just love it.
They do, my friend. And I often think about, was there anyone in the history of music cooler than David Bowie? I don't think there was. I mean, he's a great musician, but he was just cool all the time.
Yeah.
He was always ahead of the time.
Great loss.
Massive loss. Massive loss. Did he ever do any acting?
Yep.
He did. He wasn't too bad.
Labyrinth.
Oh, yes, of course.
Labyrinth, of course. He did the...
He did the Prisoner of War one.
Called...
What was it, Tenko? Happy Birthday, Mr. Lawrence.
Yeah.
That's the one.
He's done a few movies.
Do you know, funny we should say that, because I was watching this Soho show today called The Bastard Executioner, I think it was called, and Ed Sheeran was in it. God, he was awful.
Yeah. Oh, what about when he was in
terrible.
Game of Thrones? That was terrible.
Was it?
Ed Sheeran?
Yeah.
And then it got me thinking about, all the sort of musicians that, try their hand at acting. Cher, for example, she was great.
Yeah,
she was a great actor. Barbara Streisand, brilliant actor.
Barbara Streisand.
Bette Midler, bloody great actor. But then you got your Justin Timberlakes and your Madonnas, not quite so good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Ed Sheeran, I
don't
like to criticise people.
I'm a good musician, and I can do acting as well. It's kind of a rare talent to be able to do both. You do a bit of acting, I'd accept that, but not so much on the music side. So it's nice to be able to do both. You do a bit of music, and then you go to the acting, back and forth.
It's kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yes, jack of all trades.
Master of none.
Well, I wouldn't say master of none, because whatever you put your mind to, you get better at, and I don't know if I could get too much better as an actor, that's for sure, but perhaps as a musician, yeah.
The acting. What roles have you played in your acting?
Well, you've seen them. You've plenty of roles.
Have you ever treaded the boards?
Comedy's the hardest part. Comedy's the hardest thing to act. It's easy to do dramatic stuff. Anyone can do that.
So you could go out.
I might die in this cell tonight, or the arena tomorrow. I am a slave. What possible difference can I make? See? Gladiator.
I'm
a slave!
I would like to see you tread the boards.
Tread the boards.
And whack out a bit of Shakespeare. Then we'll see. Then we'll see.
I can see you in the Merchant of Venice.
Look, I'm a real actor. I draw
let's be honest, you've got enough Shakespearean shirts to last you a lifetime.
I draw my real life experience. My life, it's been interesting and varied. I draw on that when I'm doing a role.
Why would you go for
I'm a method actor.
Why would you go for that Gladiator quote? Surely you go for the classic. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Well, that's the only one I kind of recall. That's where my mice guy stopped when I was
husband to a murdered wife.
The last scene I saw in the movie.
Father to a murdered son, seek his vengeance. No,
that's too wordy.
It's good though.
I might die in this cell tonight, or in the arena tomorrow. I am a slave. What possible difference can I make?
Are you saying you're the Russell Crowe of New Zealand?
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what. You're definitely good at the comedy.
Every time I'm with it alone, it picks me up, you just send me down.
Blur there on Daily Bhuja this Tuesday afternoon. Now, Lee, you like to do a bit of DIY, don't you?
You're going to say DIY.
I nearly did, but DIY.
Yeah, I do actually. I like to do a bit of stuff around the home. I hate getting people in to do stuff that I'm capable of doing, but often end up having to get them in to perhaps fix up or finish off the job because I'm so busy.
Yeah. Well, the good news is, if you are a DIY type of guy, Placemaker's Monster Tool Sale is on now till April 16th, featuring all the best brands and some fantastic bargains. To celebrate, the good folk at Placemakers have given us an 8-piece Milwaukee power tool kit to give away. 8 pieces.
Good God.
It's worth over $2,000, Lee Hart. Also, each Tuesday and Thursday, I'll profile a different tool from the 8-piece Milwaukee set. If you can tell me what that tool is, you'll win a 2-piece Milwaukee tool.
Yeah.
Plus, you can enter the draw to win the whole 8-piece kit at hodaki.co.nz, just like that. But right now, it's time to play what, Lee Hart?
I'll tell you what it is, Chase. Now it is time to play Jason Hoyt's Name That Tool.
It's not easy on the ears.
No, that's right, but that's what tools are like. And remember, if you are out there using tools and things like that, doing a project, make sure you wear the safety gear. Your glasses, perhaps some ear muffs or hearing protection, I think they call it nowadays, the kids.
Ear defenders.
And actually, just on that front too, if you want some tips from us, you know, you might be putting in some sliding doors or something like that, just text us 3483 and we'll hand out those tips free of charge.
It's actually PPA.
PPA, what does that mean?
Personal protection. No, PPE.
Yeah, PPE. All sorts of stuff, depending on what you're doing, of course. Make sure you wear it.
Indeed.
I'm deaf in one ear because I didn't wear enough of it when I was working on the Channel Tunnel. I thought I'd chuck it in there.
I worked a lot when I was working 4 years on the super yachts. Very handy.
Okay, shut up
Very
now.
handy.
Right, shall I do this, lads?
Yep, okay, mate.
Here we go.
Fire it up. Kind of like a fine sort of sound, isn't it?
Very fine. If you can name that tool, give us a call right now on 0800 Hodaki. You could win that 2-piece Milwaukee tool set. Soundgarden.
Bhuja with Lee and Jace on Radio Hodaki.
Welcome back to Daily Bhuja. Jason Hoyt's Name That Tool. We've got an interesting text here, Lee Hart. How do I enter for the Milwaukee 8-piece? I'm an engineering junior who's wanting to spice up my toolbox with some hard-working, sexy red ness. The boss has Milwaukee drills and grinders and is forever harassing me to get my own. Well, all you need to do, my friend, is go to hodaki.co.nz, enter in the competition. Boom, just like that, my friend.
Pretty simple.
Now, this is going to be interesting. Let's go to Rant. He's a Tiaraha Sparky. G'day, mate.
How's it, mate? How's it going?
Yeah, good. Rant, yourself?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad.
How's the Sparky business going?
Oh, just wonderful. Just cruising out, you know, living the dream.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Good on you. All right, Rant, can you name that tool?
Is it a multi-tool?
Multi-tool? Just like that.
Straight up from there.
Boom!
See, I didn't think anyone was going to get this.
No, neither did I.
You know what I was thinking? Here we go. Controversy again. It's going to, because it's got that little cutter thing. People are going to say
it's multi-purpose. It can do all sorts of things.
That's it.
It's definitely a multi. I used it quite a lot when I was working on the super yachts.
Yeah.
Sanding, grinding, getting corking out from in
It's
between.
not so much about you at the moment, Matt.
Yeah,
it's more
can
about
we-
the
We know you're on
listener.
super yachts,
No, I was
man.
confirming that I know what it is, and it is a multi-tool.
Hey, Rant, well, that's bloody good news for you, my friend. Well
Yeah, man,
done.
that's awesome. I actually used one today, so it sounded really familiar.
What did you use it for?
Oh, I was cutting some table tray.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, the
I
good,
know
news,
someone that got circumcised with multi-tool.
the good news for you, my friend, is that you've won the 2-piece Milwaukee set. How does that sound?
Oh, that sounds sick, man. That's awesome.
Oh, good on you, mate. Good on you. Hey, and if you need some tools, head down to Placemakers, why don't you? Stay on the line, Rant.
Awesome, sweet guys. Thanks.
Thanks, mate.
I mean, you're a multi-tool. You see, you can do skirting boards.
Yeah.
You can do sawing.
Yes.
Cut holes, drilling, sanding, and circumcisions.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd be that keen on the circumcisions, but yeah, everything else, good stuff. Good stuff. Don't go there, Matt. I can see you about to crap on about, I was on a super yacht and doing the corking in my little sailor outfit.
My epaulets.
You're with my epaulets on.
I wasn't actually going to go on about it, but if
Can we
you
get
want to
some
know...
photos of you on the super yacht and put up on the Facebook page and Instagram? I reckon we'll get a few hits on that.
With the mistress?
With
Shirt
the
off.
epaulets. Shirt. No,
Shirt
I
off,
want
please.
them full sailor regalia.
Okay.
Guys, I don't want to steal the show.
We want some super yacht photos up there, please, with you
I don't want to...
on board the boat.
I don't want to steal the show. There's some on my Instagram, actually.
And remember, go to hodaki.co.nz if you want to enter for that 8-piece Milwaukee tool set, because it is a bloody good prize. Let's take a break.
Matty Ward _ if you want the old epaulet photos.
We are Daddy Bhuja, Instagram.
Yeah. Do both.
The Killers there on Daily Bhuja this Tuesday afternoon. When are they coming, Matty?
They're coming in April, Jace. They're going to be playing Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch. All the details at hodaki.co.nz. And I think we're going to have a bit of a... well, I don't know if we're announcing it yet, but there's going to be a good competition coming up with the Killers.
No, that sounds good, mate.
Yeah,
sounds good. Re your acting career, Lee Hart. Someone's texted in, I didn't know Lee did acting or comedy. When are you going to add some comedy to the show?
They're talking to just me or both of us?
Well, it's probably both of us, I imagine.
Well, I don't think the show's all about comedy. I mean, I think we're about information, passing on what gigs are happening, what tools to give away. It's not just about comedy, and listeners do well to learn that.
Well, you know, I just need to cite the example of Top Tips, for example. Nothing funny about those. Just bloody useful items that people can use in their everyday life.
That's right.
You know, we do shout-outs. That's not comedy.
That's not comedy.
It's just talking about people out there shouting out to other people out there.
We talk about funerals and people passing away. That's not comedy.
There's nothing funny about a bloody... What are they called? A
wake or an autopsy.
Or an autopsy. There's nothing funny about that. We talk about great people that have, passed on and we didn't realise.
That's right. Funny, I went to a funeral yesterday, actually. It was a bit of a weird one.
Okay.
The old double booking. Have you had that before?
No.
Unbelievable, eh? So you go into the... Because it was, what do you call those places?
What place?
Funeral home?
Yeah, funeral home, yeah. For the funeral. And there's two different families in, and you're actually chatting to people outside. You don't really recognise them, but you just assume that they know the person that's passed deceased on. One in a different way than you, because they're a different generation, whatever. You start chatting. And then it comes to the stage where you go in there, and that's when all hell broke loose, because we all realised we're there for different funerals.
Right, okay.
There's 2 caskets up there. And the guy was trying to control it. The funeral director was trying, I'm sorry, guys, one of you is going to have to wait. Wait in the car park? Come on.
Yeah.
Unprofessional.
Yeah, very unprofessional. Actually, I have been to a situation where I've been in that situation. And the only reason I realised that they'd made a bit of a cock-up was because the menu afterwards was not the set buffet menu that we'd actually
you
booked.
Decided on.
Yeah. It was
everything else is the same. The songs, you just said, oh, yeah, that's standard stuff.
Yeah, and but it was like an Asian fusion thing, and we went for just a kind of, tea and scones kind of scenario.
Was the person that passed away Asian?
Oh, I think so, yes.
I mean, the one that you knew, you must know if
no,
they
he
were
wasn't.
Asian. Okay.
No. So...
But you don't know if the other...
Well,
you know by the menu if it was a very strict, traditional Asian menu.
Well, as I say, it was Asian fusion, so it was hard to actually say.
Were there a lot of other Asian people there that you didn't know at the other funeral, put it that way?
Well, there was a mixture of cultures, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, it would be wrong of me to assume that the person that had passed on was, in fact, Asiatic.
No, but I would say if I was at a funeral and 80% of the people were Asian, I would say I was good chance I'm at an Asian funeral.
Well, I mean, in that situation, yeah, that's a fair assumption to make, I think.
Yeah.
So what did you end up doing? You just, waited for them? Who went first?
Yeah, well, it was a bit of a compromise. What happened, they went first with the service. They had the casket in there, their service. We waited in the car park. Then we went and did our service. But we were first to go through for the food area. So they had to wait in the car park while we did our food and this kind of thing. And he was very strict on that. We insisted that we go through first, and then we came out. Everyone was happy in the end.
Yeah, well, that's the main...
We met a few new people.
I mean, as happy as you can be at a funeral.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Is Portugal the man?
They're coming too.
Are they?
Oh, yeah. 8th of May, Power Station, Auckland.
Oh, God, it's just all happening, isn't it?
Turns out I knew the other guy as well.
Oh, did you?
In a weird kind of way.
Be a good old gig at the old Power Station.
Yeah, we'll be, Portugal the man there on Daily Bhuja.
Yeah, I might go to that. Good venue, that, isn't it?
Yeah, we were there for
David Duchovny gig.
Yeah.
If I can go to David Duchovny, I can go to Portugal the Man then.
Certainly you can.
And there's probably going to be more than 50 people at Portugal the Man, I'd say.
Was there only 50 people at David Duchovny?
Maybe 100.
Oh, seriously? I would have thought just the fact that he was kind of the... Would you call him a sex symbol?
I remember the sound man was looking at YouTube videos of sort of monkeys and moles and things doing tricks and stuff instead of watching the sound. He was on his laptop.
And then we found ourselves watching them as well.
Yeah.
Slightly more interesting than the
show.
But
that's rock and roll. Now look, what are we talking about here? Have we got time to go into cricket?
No, we don't actually.
Just a quick one, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you can if you want.
No, it's a good story.
no. Okay, well,
It's a good story. I might save it for after.
Do you want the cricket chat sting?
No,
well, we've
it's
got to
be good.
have the acrimonious.
I need a bit of time. I need a bit of time.
Couples and music and stuff, which we were going to talk about earlier, but we got waylaid.
I've got the sting
Well, we've
here.
still got that as well if you want it.
Okay, well, we can do that later. What?
I've got the sting here ready to go.
What's the sting?
The cricket.
Cricket sting.
Way you go.
Just want to bring it back to myself if I could for a while. As you know, my son's playing a bit of cricket now. Jace, he's doing pretty good actually.
Oh, good.
Bowling and stuff, and batting's a bit erratic, but he's up and down the order. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's fine. Look, and a couple of great coaches.
That's good.
In this team, which
makes all the difference.
Always helps. Always
Yeah,
helps. But you like to inject yourself in there, your own input occasionally as a father, and you got to do that. You just can't sit back and just let the coaches do the whole thing. You've got to get involved. And what I've noticed sometimes with the team, these are 12-year-olds, there's been a lot of, and you'll know this, a lot of run-outs.
Yeah.
Occasionally, just through bad communication. You've got one batsman who's a little bit sort of keen to stay at the wicket. You've got the other one who's maybe a bit more of a runner, keen to rotate the strike. Confusion in the middle, blah, blah, blah. Run-outs, you've seen it 1,000 times, I'm sure, as an umpire. All right?
Yes, indeed.
And a cricketer. So I thought, some of our child technology that we were using when we were rearing the kids, I thought I would adapt that for the kids to help them in cricket. So I went with the coaches and I said, look, hear me out, guys. I've got some stuff here. Did this last training. And we did it in the last game as well. Works really good. So it's the shock collars, right? Electric shock collar.
Yes.
So each batsman's got an electric shock collar on it, right? So if you're facing, what happens? They're tuned into each other, the frequency, at the distance that they're set of a cricket pitch, okay? And once the ball's bowled, they become live. And if it gets to a point where one moves closer to the other person without the other batsman moving, he will get a shock in his
go
neck.
back to his crease.
Well, either to his crease or the other one needs to move, because you can't have this confusion. So basically, if someone's stuck at his wicket, going no, and the other guy's running, the collar will go off.
Of who? The runner or the one who stayed?
The guy that stayed.
Right, okay.
If there's a run on there. So basically what's happening is they're crossing, and that shock won't stop till they get to the other end.
So who's controlling the shocking?
What it's done, I've tuned it in such a way that it goes off. So if you're batting, okay, and you start to go,
yes,
you go for a run, it becomes live. He's gone for a run. The guy at the non-striker's end, he'll get a shock if he doesn't start moving.
Right, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Likewise, if you know what it's like, if it's behind the wicket, it's the other guy's call.
Right, okay.
Okay, so
what if
he
the guy
becomes
the guy that's starting off to go for a run, and what if it's a shocking run?
Well, he made the call though, didn't he? He started running.
But what if his call is a bad call and it's the guy at the other end that gets run out?
Well, how often does that happen? All the time. Exactly. So what's the difference? At least this way they're not having these things where they're both kind of go, oh no, you go. They go.
Right,
if it's on. They make a call, they stick to it. And what they learn from that is the value of good calling. Call loud and go, commit and go.
The shock on their the shock on their throat's not going to affect the vocalization of the call, is it?
No. That's fine.
Okay.
And then when they've learnt to do this responsibly, good strong running and calling, then we can take the shock collars off. Bloody good. There's a wild
Daily Bhuja with KFC.
The Black Keys there on Daily Bhuja. I just want to follow up on, because you were talking about, the shock collars for the kids in terms of their running
cricket.
Yeah. Well, actually, I coached kids for a while after I left school. I was captain of the first 11, and they said, can you come back and coach the under-12s? And I said, yeah, sure, I can do that as kind of like a service to the kids.
Well, you got to give back.
Well, you got to give back, mate. So I was coaching the under-12s, and what I actually did was, when the kids were batting in the nets, right, the under-12 kids, I didn't give them bats. And what I do is I get the first 11 bowlers to come along and bowl to these kids without bats, right? And I tell them to get into line and, make sure their eyes are on the ball, all that sort of stuff. And as you can imagine, because they didn't have any bats. They were struck some fearsome blows, Lee Hart.
Yep.
And I said, this is how you kids have to learn.
Yep.
And so
respect the ball.
Respect the ball. And so they get blow after blow after blow. And we did about 2 or 3 practices like that. And then after that, they graduated onto the bat. You see?
But did you do a session? I can see where you're going with this because I remember doing a similar thing. Did you do a session because you teach them to get in front of the ball but leaving it, this kind of stuff?
Sure.
Did you do the blindfold session as well?
No, I didn't. I didn't do I only thought about that later on. It was one of those
sense
things
where the ball is after a while.
Yeah, well, you're sort of like Yoda, aren't you?
If you get hit enough, you'll know it's coming.
Well, exactly. So what ended up happening, they'd graduate to the bats, of course, and then they would remember in their mind what it was like to be struck by the ball at full tit. And so I tell you what, they never missed the ball after that.
Your first instinct is not to get struck with the ball.
Yes.
What can I do? I know what I'll do. I'll put that bat in the way.
I'll put the bat right in the middle of it.
And where does the bat go? Right in the middle.
Yeah, that's
Brilliant.
right, mate.
See, that's good coaching. You don't see that nowadays.
No, you don't. You don't. And, they went from the bottom of the league that year to the top of the league. I mean, sure, some of them had some pretty serious scarring and bruising and stuff like that.
And things.
Contusions.
But back to my shock collars, okay, someone asked, well, how does it, I mean, I don't want to get into the complications of how it's tuned in, like the radio frequency, the distance between them, the shock will go off, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If they're not running towards each other in an aggressive manner. But I can put it on manual mode, so I can be sitting there on my little deck chair watching this game, as I often do.
Yeah.
And I put the button there. If I see one of those kids and they're not running, or they haven't left the crease, or he's not backing up, I'll just give him a shock. Bang!
Boom!
He knows.
Away he goes.
The other thing I do now too, really annoyed me the other day. This is the first over of the match. These 2 batsmen, 12-year-olds, what they'll do after the first ball, they'll wander into the middle of the pitch and start having a yarn, as if like they're in the Ashes or something. This is after 2 balls. It's not even the end of the over.
Yeah.
And this went on after every ball. They're having a yarn. So, God, if I had the shock collars in, I definitely would have been shocking them.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. It gets a bit ridiculous because all their idols do that sort of stuff.
Yeah, they're just watching TV. What can you be talking about?
Look, a couple of balls.
You faced one ball, you missed it. What are you talking about?
A couple of balls in, I don't mind the odd arse slap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where's that going? It's all high fives now. What about the cradling of the arse, the little tap on the butt? Well done, fella. Nice shot. Nice shot. Yeah. Is Tom drinking champagne in Studio B? Is he drinking champagne?
Apparently he's finished an essay. He's drinking champagne.
Stone Temple Pilots here on Daily Bhuja this Tuesday afternoon. The phone lines have gone crazy, Lee Hart. Let's not muck around, mate. Let's go straight to him.
Okay.
G'day, mate.
How you going?
Yeah, good. Who's this?
This is Jacob.
Jacob, how you going, buddy?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad.
Excellent.
Now, Jacob, this is Lee here. I'm coming in with a question of my own. Whereabouts are you?
Oh, I'm down south of Otago, mate.
South of Otago, nice. Whereabouts?
Just out of Clinton.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Good stuff.
About close up there, yeah.
Are you home, Jacob?
I am home, mate.
Are you cooking dinner?
I am cooking dinner, yeah.
What do you got on? Take us through it, Jacob.
Just whipping up a wee butter chicken pie at the moment, mate.
Oh,
butter chicken pie.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
What, you're making your own pastry? Or you got pre-made pastry?
No, just the flaky buff pastry,
Yeah, nice, mate.
Is that for the family or for yourself? I mean, who's going to be enjoying that?
There'll be a couple of us, a couple of the family members, yep.
Yeah,
good on you, mate. Good on you.
I was saying earlier on, I've got a lamb curry on the slow cooker at the moment, Jacob.
Oh, right.
Yeah, beautiful, mate.
I'll take the butter chicken pie, I think.
Would
you?
Actually. Well, you haven't had my lamb in the slow cooker with all the juices and stuff soaking into your white, fluffy rice. But having said that, Jacob's pie does sound bloody good.
You should be on the brown rice for Jimmy. It's bloody white rice.
No, you go, mate.
Well, Jacob, are you a regular listener of the show? How does that work?
Yeah, mate, I sure am a regular listener. I listen day in, day out.
Good on you,
That's good. That's what we like to hear, mate. Right down there as a regular listener. There you go.
Good stuff.
Cool. And why are you calling? Do I need to ask?
Listen, I'm pretty sure I heard the Bhuja Hawk.
Yes, you did. And to add to your butter chicken pie, we're going to chuck in a $20 KFC voucher, mate. How does that sound?
Oh, you absolute ripper.
No worries, mate.
Brilliant.
Thanks for listening, man. Thanks for making the call.
Hey, cheers.
Good on you, man.
Thanks, mate.
I have a question for you, Jace. If you order a dial-a driver sort of two and a half weeks in advance, is that sign of a drinking problem or just that you're very organised?
Very organised.
Very organised.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Bhuja with Lee and Jace. Text them on 3483 or call 0800 Hodaki.
Welcome back to Daily Bhuja. Lee?
Yeah, mate.
Great text here. Boys, just want to say a huge thanks to you all for cheering up my very unhappy daughter Isabella. She was in tears and wanting to move school, etc. I sympathised as best I could, but couldn't console her, so I said to her, look at the time, Bells. And as we do every day on our trip home, we got ready to ring Hodaki. To her delight, the phone didn't have the normal engage signal, and rang, and then your good man Tom answered. Can you name that tune, he says. Bingo! Just like that, you have turned her day completely around. So again, a huge thanks. The only thing she missed was talking to Lee and Jace on the radio. Maybe next time, great job.
Yeah, well, Isabella or Bells, sorry you missed us, but big shout out to you. Hope you're having a good day. And maybe next time we'll have a chat. Give us a call tomorrow.
Well, actually, I think we'll know when Isabella calls, because Isabella will come up on the phone line.
Yeah, we'll put a little bit of a little asterisk on that.
And we'll have a chat with Isabella. That sounds like a great idea to me.
That's cool. Hey, we were talking earlier on about rivalries. Well, we said we were going to talk about it. Big rivalries from the past. Your Lennons and your McCartneys.
Yes.
Your Simon and your Garfunkels.
Yeah.
Your Dudley Moore and Peter Cook. Liam Gallagher, Noel Gallagher, Oasis. These big rivalries, often they're brothers, often they're not. They work together. It must be hard. I think we should do a special. I mean, what other names can we chuck out there? Your Polly and Grant, I suppose.
Yeah, that's a goodie. Stace and Flinney.
Don't know. JJ and Dom.
Oh, JJ and Dom, definitely. You got any off the top of your head there, Matty?
Oh, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, Polly and Grants.
Oh, you said Polly and Grant.
Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was a good point, though.
Yeah.
I mean, but were they rivals?
What about Jason Gunn and Thingy?
No, they weren't really rivals.
No, they were good mates.
No, Polly and Grant, they were married. And they did the show. They still do the show, don't they?
Yeah, they do the show, yeah. What about Jason Gunn and JJ?
No, they're doing a show together.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Maybe this is not really going anywhere.
What about your Di Henwoods and your Jason Hoyts?
No. What are you saying there?
You bag them all the time.
Oh.
God. I don't know. I thought there might be something in there.
I don't know that segment at all, actually.
I just wanted to say Polly and Grant somehow, and that's the only way I could get to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not really putting Polly and Grant in the league of Lennon, McCartney and Simon Garfunkel. If that's what you're thinking.
Matt, can I have a word after the show, please, mate?
Absolutely. My show follows on.
Yeah. Spittle and Barker.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. Bonnie and Clyde, no, they were together.
Huey Lewis and the News.
You're just throwing names out there randomly. That's got no...
You kind of ruined this segment.
Well, you asked me to be part of this.
Usually you add something that's
I'll be the
worthwhile.
first to admit that this segment has probably been undercooked.
Yeah,
and probably underprepared. But, even an underprepared segment should go better than this, people.
Yeah.
I don't really understand
Not my bad.
Very, very average, people. Very, very average.
I don't understand
Go to a song, please.
Just go to a song. Garbage there on Daily Bhuja this Tuesday. What are you reading there, Matty? You're not on Facebook, are you?
No. I'm actually reading about... Have you heard about this guy from the SAS in the UK who, over in Syria, got a 1,500-metre snipe on the head honcho of ISIS?
Oh, K and a half.
1,500 metres?
He had a 15-second window where he got the green light, 1,500 metres away. He goes, go for the shot. Lined him up and got him back of the head. Gone.
Okay. So is he coming on as a guest, is he?
No, he's just reading it in the news. Happened like today.
Well, I imagine
it's highly relevant to our show.
But having said that, I think he'd be a bloody good guest, wouldn't he?
Yeah, can you see if you can get him? What's his name?
I don't think the most wanted guy by ISIS they're going to announce his name. He just took the head honcho out.
I don't know. If he wants to hide from ISIS, what better place than here on Bhuja? Well, no one's going to find him here.
Well, exactly, and I'm thinking, because those guys must, sit there for ages sometimes with nothing. I'd love to know what they think about when they're sort of sitting there, and they're...
Does he listen to Bhuja? Does he listen to Bhuja?
I highly doubt it.
Well, why would you doubt it? He could be listening to Bhuja while he's waiting.
He could be listening to us right now.
Like, he'd have to use iHeartRadio, and I doubt the internet's overly great in the foothills of Syria.
We could be doing the KFC Wheeler Chicken or Name That Tune or something, all of a sudden, go for the shot, and he has to stop listening, and take the shot.
In fairness, I'd imagine you'd have a lot of downtime.
And imagine if he answered the phone to play the KFC Willa Chicken. We went, "Oh, good on you, mate." And then they did that and said, "No, you take the shot." And he had to bloody cut off.
Had to choose.
I'd
what to
definitely
do.
get him as a guest.
I would say he would choose the KFC Willa Chicken.
Yeah, so would I actually. So can you just get Tom
Because he'll
to
probably
maybe
get a chance. He'll probably get another shot later. Literally, excuse the pun, to have that shot. But he may never get another shot at the KFC Willa Chicken.
Yeah, that's a good point, mate. So can you just maybe follow that up a little bit if you could, Matt? That would be great.
Just chuck it out there that we're keen to get him on the show, preferably in the studio, not as like a phone guest. That's kind of naff. So yeah, we're keen to have a chat to him.
We could change his name, call him Andy or something like that. You know what I mean? So he's got that kind of.
Yeah, cool. I'll find Syria's area code.
Thanks, mate.
Is he still in Syria? Is he?
I'd say so. Yeah, happened today.
Okay.
Good stuff. Well, it's looking good then for next week.
Yeah, maybe Thursday.
We'll get him on for Wackachangi Big Thursday.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks for listening to the show, New Zealand. On behalf of Liam and myself, and to a certain degree, the Night Wolf.
Why a certain degree?
Well, because, you've got your own show, and I don't think that you don't necessarily want to...
Going gangbusters, apparently.
Yeah, well, we're getting texts about your show through our show, so there you go.
Good show.
Oh, well, it is a bloody good show, but, if you've got a mate or a family member that maybe doesn't listen to Bhuja, could you just give them a little tap on the shoulder and say, hey, make sure you tune in from 4 to 7 any day of the week. Give these guys a bit of a chance, see what you think.
And if we get a new listener, let us know who they are. We'll send them a new Wackachangi bumper sticker or multi-sticker, we try to call it now. You can stick it on your fridge, your car, whatever. Just a way, our little way of saying, welcome to the show, come on in, the water's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you could do that, and if you are going to do that, let us know by the text machine, 3483.
Yeah.
Just say, listen, I invited my mate, blah, blah, blah. He's going to listen to the show on Tuesday, so that will make it one of the best shows we've ever done. If we know...
if we know what day they're going to come on.
Going to come on, you know what I mean? We'll lift the game.
Save us trying to make every show good.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, there's a little interesting you get those little Facebook posts by people, little cynical things here and there. This is an interesting one. We live in a society where people use their $1,000 cell phone to check if their WINS payment has been paid. You know what I mean? It's interesting. Yeah, I can see the irony of that. But anyway, hey, we're here on this planet trying to get on.
We are, mate. We're all doing the best we can, Lee Hart. But it's been a hell of a show for a Tuesday. Hell of a show. Covered off a lot of stuff. What's coming up in the Night Wolf show?
Oh, mate, I've got a bloody $100 Uber Eats voucher to give away.
Oh, for God's sake.
I've got a bloody $75 iLab voucher to give away. I've got a Husky beer cooler to give away. Chucking people in the jaw to go to India.
Do you want to give away some Wackachangi bumper stickers?
Yeah.
Multi-stickers, I think I'm calling them now.
Chuck them in with the prizes.
Yeah, why not?
Just go easy, because it sounds like he's not having any trouble with his bloody prizes. I mean,
it's nice to get them out there, Jason.
I suppose so, mate, I suppose so. Hey, make sure you tune in again tomorrow, the Wednesday, because the KFC Wheeler Chicken.
Big Wednesday.
From Lee, myself, and the Night, we'll take care up there. And Bhuja to you.
Bhujalana.
On a friendly shore.